Hello, good morning. Oh, good day in general. So, good morning, guys, especially to all my students, EL113 students. So, this is for teaching grammar, teaching and assessing grammar. Okay, guys, so today we are going to discuss about the four types of grammar. Okay, so this is an introduction to the four types of grammar. Why do we need to teach grammar? Oh, first question, what is grammar? And why do we need to teach grammar? Okay, of course, we are referring to English grammar. So, guys, before we start, I would like you to know that if you are here, please say something. Please have a comment there because real time po yung mga comment ninyo. So, that is considered this virtual class participation. Okay, so guys, if you're there already, please say something, especially to my EL113 students teaching and assessing grammar. So, once again, good day. Wala pa akong viewer. It's okay. Wala pa sila. All right. It's okay. Well, I mean, teaching and assessment of the grammar. So, this is our subject. So, teaching and assessment of the grammar. Well, anyway, guys, please be with me and just go along with me as we are live. Yes, good morning. So, we have here uh, Sharina Somoza. Yes. And good morning, ma'am. Nag-PM po ako, ma'am. Sino yung nag-PM po ako, ma'am? Good morning, ma'am. Nag-PM po ako, ma'am. Oh, hindi ko siya mabasa ngayon, my dear, kasi I'm live giving this lesson. Okay, so if you are part of this topic, you can stay. Or if you want to learn about this topic, you can still stay. But this video or this lesson is for my EL113 students. Okay, so I mean teaching and assessment of the grammar. But before anything else, we would like to discuss first what is grammar. So guys, if you're with me and you are going live, so please, as we go along, answer the question if I will have basic questions, because that will be considered your class participation in this virtual classroom. Okay, so, well, can you put your camera on, Sharina? Sharina, if you're there, because I want you to be in this in this lesson. Actually, you can be seen in my on my screen. So if you will just allow your video or allow your camera to be, what's this? To capture your image, okay? The video, so I can have you here. Well, anyway, I will not wait for others. Total, pag matapos ito, this will not be gone in our Ma'am Effie virtual classroom. So it will stay in the wall. Okay, anyway, guys. So actually, what's this? I'm looking also to the messages here, the comments. Okay, so I think we need to start. Let me share my screen. Okay. Sige, explore mo lang. Explore mo lang, Sharina, while what's this? Uh, what's this? While our lesson is ongoing. So if you cannot explore it further, it's okay. So we'll have it soon. But if you can do it now, a lot better. Okay. So let me start with this. Sandali lang po. English grammar. All right. So we have here, I got it from, saan ko ito nakuha na presentation? I love the presentation, Dr. Madrid. Okay. So it is, thank you, Dr. Madrid, for sharing your presentation about the types of grammar or introduction to grammar. So first thing is, what is grammar? Okay. Wait lang po. Let me check. Okay, so that's it. Mas malaki yung presentation ko. All right. So first thing is, what is grammar? Well, it is really necessary to know grammar. We know that English majors, right? And it is better to write grammatically than not. So, but it is well to remember that grammar is common speech formulated. So, usage is the only test. So, that's according to William Somerset. Okay, and grammar is the structural foundation of our ability to express ourselves. The more we are aware of how it works, the more we can monitor the meaning and effectiveness of the way we and others use language. So it can help foster precision, detect ambiguity, and exploit the richness of expression available in English. And it can help everyone, not only teachers of English, but teachers of anything. So, for all teaching is ultimately a matter of getting to grips with meaning. That's according to David Crystal. Well, anyway, guys, if you observe, before you major English, you were not that very critical, or you were not that critical in grammar, right? Compared to how critical you are now, because you are what says you are studying grammar, you are English majors. So of course you are so sensitive, you are critical to the structure. Okay. So when that is knowing the structure, the rules, okay? So that's grammar. So during the Middle Ages, grammar was often used to describe learning in general. So they are not that particular to the rules. For example, the subject verb agreement, not so much on that thing. But they are more on like grammar was often used to describe learning in general. So in that manner, if you are going to describe learning, so that's grammar already, okay, without digging to how it is, like how it is being used, the application of the rule, so not so much on that. So including the magical, the occult practices popularly associated with the scholars of today. And then people in Scotland pronounced grammar as glamar, glamar, okay, and extended the association to mean magical beauty or enchantment. So that is their, what's this, definition of grammar. That's what is grammar to them. In the 19th century, the two versions of the word went their separate ways, so that our study of English grammar today may not be quite as glamorous as it used to be. Okay, so let me check who are here. Oh, si Ansharina pa lang ang nandito. Okay, so I see Ansharina's here already. Kylie, I think. Kylie, can you tell me, Kylie, if you are still there, what subject are you into? Okay. Then let's proceed. We have these four types of grammar, right? So this is, or these are actually our focus in this lesson. So we have descriptive grammar, we have prescriptive grammar, we have this functional grammar, and we have this pedagogic grammar. Pasensya na yan yung throat ko, guys. So I am really having this extra effort to bring out my voice. Okay, I just hope that all my words can be heard, or all the sounds, okay, will be heard. So when we say descriptive grammar, refers to the structure of a language as it is actually used by speakers and writers. Okay? Well, anyway, I will just give you this overview first, but we will go to each of them, okay, later. Then, prescriptive grammar refers to the structure of a language as certain people think it should be used. Let us see the difference, guys. So, when we say descriptive grammar, structure of a language as it is actually used by speakers and writers. The actual usage of the speakers and writers, actual, ang paggamit, okay? But in the prescriptive grammar, structure of a language, certain people think it should be used. This is now the way you think on what should not be used and what should be used. For example, you are not going to use this in formal writing. You are not going to use like uh, don't, okay? So there's for don't, you better use. So there are like that. So that is prescriptive. So it means you are going to deal with what is not and what is there in grammar, in writing. Okay, so let's proceed. Interface. The descriptive grammarian would note, among other things, that the word is made up of common prefix inter and a root word face, and that it's currently used as both a noun and a verb. Okay? That's for the descriptive. But for the prescriptive grammarian, however, would be more interested in deciding whether or not it is correct to use interface as a verb. So in the descriptive, you simply use it. But in the prescriptive, is it correct or not? Okay? So that is the difference now in the descriptive and the prescriptive. Now, I will give you the more detailed presentation on this one. So the prescriptive versus descriptive. Okay. So this is from this website www.linkopen.edu course-index. Okay, slash. So let's have this one. This is now detailed presentation on the descriptive and prescriptive grammar. Okay, wait, guys. Okay, so we have here, we're going to talk about their properties. Okay, the properties, of course, properties of descriptive and prescriptive. So when we talk about grammar and language, a key distinction, so we have this. Bear in mind from the beginning the idea that any given language has many dialects, okay? But of course, we're going to refer to English, okay? English grammar. So rules of good, let us see prescriptive grammar first. So in the prescriptive grammar, rules of good or proper usage. So as told you earlier, as I mentioned earlier, what is not and what is, okay? So what is not to be used and what is to be used. Is it proper or not? So if there is a question like, is it proper to use or not? So you are referring to or you are using the property or this type of prescriptive grammar. So which dictate what is good grammar and what is bad grammar. Okay. And then we have example, she doesn't know him. She don't know him. So, as you look at that example, sa pagtingin mo pa lang, oy, there is something wrong. One is wrong here. That is not proper. That is not the correct usage. So, the moment you say that, you are under this prescriptive grammar. So, example, look at the number one. Is supposed to be good, while number two is supposed to be bad. So as you can see, of course, our subject there. So this is now you are very critical. You are more critical in this manner because you're going to say, oh, she, that is singular. She, that's singular. Okay? And then doesn't, oh, it's okay because does is to be used to singular or does is singular. And then number two, she don't know him. She don't, she is singular, don't is for plural. So that's the thing, okay? So number one is supposed to be good and number two is supposed to be bad. Why? So the basic problem with she don't know him, it is not part of standard English. but it is part of some varieties or dialects of English. So in the descriptive grammar, it's all right. Okay? So in the prescriptive grammar, it's not okay. It's not all right. It is not the proper usage. It is not the correct usage. It's wrong. But in other dialects, it's okay. So in other dialects, if it's okay, so that's under the descriptive grammar. Because when we are going to say descriptive grammar, we are more on the actual usage of the structure or language structure. Okay? So, in there, is there a logic to this judgment? Technically, what the example shows is the absence of third person singular agreement. S. Agreement morphemes on a verb mark who the subject of the verb is. In some languages, is the absence of agreement somehow bad or illogical? That's the question. In the prescriptive, yes, we're going to say, yes, it's bad. What do you think? In the descriptive, we use it. Okay. So, agreement. Consider modal verbs like can, would, etc. In standard English, for example, yes and the no. I can. You can. He, she, it can. No, I can. No, you can. No, he, she, it can't. Okay, so absence of agreement is not inherently bad. English has very little agreement compared in some languages, but more than Swedish or Chinese, which have no agreement on the verb. So in other dialects, in other language, there is no agreement on the verb. So there's nothing inherently better or worse about the standard variant. Okay. So we consider on the descriptive. So it's okay because that is the actual usage. In the prescriptive, so that's the moment when you are going to apply the correct rules or the rules in using proper grammar. Okay. Now, descriptive grammar, what native speakers know, okay, tacitly about their language. So we have to distinguish between different variants of one language versus things that are impossible in all varieties. So example, grammatical according to style, register, dialect, I didn't see anybody. I didn't see nobody. Okay? And then ungrammatical, I did, anybody didn't see. See did nobody, I not. So what's wrong? That's really ungrammatical. Okay? So look at the first example here. Grammatical according to the style, register, and dialect here. I didn't see anybody. I didn't see nobody. And then ungrammatical, I did, anybody didn't see. Obviously, ungrammatical. See didn't, nobody, I not. So in this, and under the descriptive grammar, it can be accepted, okay, because that's the actual usage of the writer or the speaker. But this is not accepted in the descriptive grammar, obviously. Okay, it's obvious. So descriptive grammar is the objective study of what speakers actually know. What the speakers actually know. So it does not presume to tell them how to use their language. And then one can objectively study dialects or registers of a language that are not the standards or most socially accepted variety. And all of these varieties are equally complex as far as the scientific study of language is concerned. So, in order to focus on descriptive grammar later, we will examine aspects of prescriptive grammar now. So, the next slides, we're going to dig deeper to the prescriptive grammar. So, varieties of prescriptive grammar. This will help us understand more on the descriptive. Okay, but let's have first this prescriptive grammar. So the rules set out by prescriptive grammar have kind of a mixed character. Standard written style, we have there use of the third person, and no double negative. If you observe a while ago, yung example natin, nag-double negative. I didn't see nobody. Okay? Then cases in which people differ. Whom did you see at the park? And the data are is interesting. All right. So let's proceed now. So we have here historical reasoning. Why should English be like it used to be? So all languages change. Where would we stop? Should we say Chaucer coat? We never yet know Villainianicidae. What is that? He never yet know Villaini's not said. Okay, roughly, he never used roughly language. Okay, so in addition to being almost incomprehensible, it shows double, triple, even negation. So like I didn't see nobody, as I mentioned earlier, double ang negative. I didn't see nobody. Okay, in the prescriptive grammar, you need to be very careful on that thing. So which we're not supposed to say, okay, according to the prescriptivist. But as you saw a while ago, it was fine in the descriptive grammar. Okay. Example, other languages. Okay, to go boldly. Supposedly bad, to boldly go. Why? Latin infinitives are one word, a mare to love. This couldn't be split to by another word. So, why make English like Latin? If you observe, if you consider, yung mga words natin, for example, literature in English, it comes from the Latin word litera, which means letter. So if you're going to go and to dig the origin of the English words, many English words came from the Latin language. Okay, so maybe it's why we consider Latin here. So this means, oh, velate. This means I'll have a rope. They're in the language Hopa related to Navajo spoken in CA. Why not make English look like this? Or any other language for that matter. So linguistically speaking, this is the same type of thing, but clearly it doesn't make sense. So of course, why we talk other language? Why we consider Latin? Okay? So of course, we have to consider the differences. Well, yun na nga, meron tayong prescriptive, meron tayong descriptive. Because in the descriptive, it is accepted. Okay? Again, the proper or the actual use of the language. But in the prescriptive, you are going back to the rules in the English or rules of English grammar. So that's how are we going to use. So we are critical. We are, for example, in writing, in formal writing. So as much as possible, we are going to follow the prescriptive grammar, and that's why what we always apply the prescriptive grammar. Okay, so let's go back to the first presentation. Okay, so yun lang guys. To sum it up, uh, do not be confused with the examples given. But again, when we say descriptive, it is the actual usage. Okay, the actual usage of the writer or the speaker. And then when we say prescriptive, so that is when you are going to say it is bad grammar, it is good grammar. And then why it's bad grammar? So there, prescriptive gets in. Okay, why it's bad grammar? So prescriptive grammar na yan siya. Okay, so let's go back to the, what's this? To what we had a while ago. Let's go back to grammar first. I mean, why do we need to what's this? The value of grammar. Don't worry about functional and pedagogic grammar yet. So let's have first this, wait lang. Okay, so the value of studying grammar. Sorry. The value of studying grammar. So why do we need to study this? This descriptive grammar, this prescriptive grammar, descriptive grammar, and soon, on after this one, we'll have the functional and pedagogic grammar. Guys, hindi ko muna discuss ang functional and pedagogic grammar. Focus muna tayo sa descriptive and prescriptive grammar. Okay, later we'll have it. So, gaining a cleaner understanding of how our language works. Of course. So, we consider, of course, English is our language already. Why? We always follow this. Okay? We are always using English grammar. So, gain greater control over the way you shape words into sentences and paragraphs and help you become a more effective writer. Yes, of course. Yes. Yes. Paos ka, ma'am. Yes, paos ko. Paos ko, Donna. Okay. So these are now the value of studying grammar. And I know we know about it. Okay. And now let me ask you guys. So if you are still there, can you just write a comment there kung saan kayo nagko-comment dyan? How do you value grammar, guys? Okay, so if you are able to answer it there now, so it means you are there and that it will be considered participation. So question number 1, do you value grammar? 100%, I think your answer will be yes. But why do you value grammar? So I'm going to ask you that because you are English majors, okay? EL 113 students. So why do you value grammar? Okay, or studying grammar. Why do you value studying grammar? Please answer that in the comment section. I will read it later. Okay, so let's go. So grammar and composition. So grammar attempts to integrate these two approaches to grammar, or at the least present time, side by side. So discussion of basic parts of speech is primarily descriptive. Lesson on correcting errors in subject-verb agreement is obviously prescriptive. Take note of that, guys. Discussion of the basic parts of speech is primarily descriptive. But when you are going to look at the errors, common errors in using English language, so now that is prescriptive. Okay? Okay. So hope you understand, wala pang functional and pedagogic dito. Okay. So 10 types of grammar. Here, number 1, comparative. So comparative, concerned with the faculty of language that provides an explanatory basis for how a human being can acquire a first language. And then the theory of grammar is a theory of human language and hence establishes the relationship among all languages. And then we have here number 1, comparative, the analysis and comparison of the grammatical structures of related languages. If you had before, if you can remember before or the previous slides, confusing, right? It was confusing. Bakit pa tayo nag-discuss ng Latin? Okay, actually, don't think so much on that. As long as you know what is descriptive grammar, what is prescriptive grammar, so it's okay. It's all right. Again and again, when we say descriptive, the actual usage of the language, okay, of the speaker and the writer. But when we say prescriptive grammar, you are more critical in this manner because you're going to look at the error. What is wrong with this sentence? What's wrong with the grammar of this sentence? So that is the time when you are going to dig, okay, deeper on the usage of grammar in a certain language. So that is prescriptive. Okay. So we have a second type of grammar, we have generative. So when we say generative, the rules determining the structure and interpretation of sentences that speakers accept as belonging to the language. For example, that it's okay with them because that belongs to them. Diba sometimes if we are going to translate Tagalog or Bisaya, exact translation of Tagalog or Filipino language to English, so without thinking about prescriptions or prescriptive or proper usage of it, we would just follow the exact translation of it. It will turn to wrong grammar. Okay? So Okay, theory of competence, a mode of the psychological system of unconscious knowledge that underlies a speaker's ability to produce and interpret utterances in a language. Okay, yes. So that's generative. And then we have mental grammar. So the generative grammar stored in the brain that allows a speaker to produce language that other speakers can understand. Okay. All humans are born with the capacity for constructing a mental grammar. Given linguistic experience, this capacity for language is called the language faculty. Diba naalala nyo, the child has a space in the brain or the baby has a space in the brain to learn the language on its own. And then, sabayan na ng influence or sabayan na ng experience and the learning will be enhanced. Okay, mental. So a grammar formulated by a linguist is an idealized description of this mental grammar. Again, mental is the generative grammar stored in the brain that allows a speaker to produce language that other speakers can understand. So that is mental. When you are able to produce, okay, to produce a language that other speakers can understand. Then, pedagogical, grammatical analysis, and instruction designed for second language students. So pedagogical process, the explicit treatment of elements of the target language system as part of the language teaching. So methodology, you have their pedagogical content, reference sources of one kind or another that present information about the target language system, and combinations of process and content. Okay. And fifth, 6 to 10 will be discussed on the next video with the functional and pedagogic grammar. So performance, a description of the syntax of English as it is actually used by speakers in dialogues. Yes, performance. And then centers attention on language production. It is my belief that the problem of production must be dealt with before problems of reception and comprehensions can properly be investigated. Okay. Guys, don't worry. I will give you the soft copy of this one. Uh, what's this? In advance also, I will give you all the presentations that I have. So, well, I have to end it here. Okay. And Sharina, for me, mom, why do you value grammar? For me, mom, it's essential since I'm taking up English as my major, and this will be our mode of instruction. And also, a part of this, we need to know the structure of English as well. Display ko yung answer mo. And Sharina? So, and Sharina's answer here. For me, mom, it's essential. Okay. Essentials, ano yun? For me, mom, it's essential for, since I'm taking up English as my major, and this will be our mode of instruction. And also a part of is we need to know the structure of English as well. That is, it will be possible for us to talk about language. Okay, thank you for that. And Sharina and Donna, we have here for me, ma'am. We value grammar because it is the language that makes it possible for us to talk about language. But knowing about grammar also with its structures may help us understand what makes a sentence and paragraphs clear, interesting, and precise. Okay. Yes, thank you so much for that, and Sharina and Donna. So thank you. All right. Okay, so thank you so much. Well, actually, my target is only 30 minutes. I will still go live on my second video. Pero no worry, guys, if you cannot stay live, it's okay. the purpose there, it will stay there. And I will give you the, what's this, the soft copy of this. If you haven't received it yet until tonight, don't hesitate to remind me, guys. So I will really appreciate reminders from you guys. Okay? So please don't hesitate to remind me kapag wala pa kayong natanggap hanggang 8 p.m. tonight. Or wala pa kayong nakitang file nito hanggang 8 p.m. tonight. So guys, thank you so much to those who are there here now. So next time, just keep posted lang sa wall. Again and again, keep posted sa wall sa mga further announcement ko. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you for staying. Okay? So, bye for now. And then I will just post my next update, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.